Deep within the heart of Zuberi, a kingdom blessed with bountiful resources and cursed with internal strife, lay the small village of Momba. Though modest, Momba had a reputation for its fertile lands, strong culture, and the resilience of its people. Yet among the villagers, there was one who stood apart, Karaba. With emerald eyes like fractured light and an air of determination that unsettled even the bravest, Karaba was seen as an enigma. From a young age, she carried herself differently, her ambitions unrestrained by the humble life of her birthplace. Born into poverty, Karaba often wondered why the gods had abandoned her family. Her father, once a warrior, had lost his life defending the kingdom's borders, leaving her mother a widow in a patriarchal society that offered little support. Despite these adversities, Karaba proved to be quick-witted, learning to navigate the world through charm and intellect. She excelled in outwitting the traders at the market and negotiating better prices for her mother's hand-woven baskets. However, these small victories only whetted her appetite for something grander. Every year, Mwamba hosted a festival of light and sound to celebrate the kingdom's ancestors. The event brought merchants, noblemen, and royalty from across Zuberi. That year, for the first time in decades, King Jelani himself attended the festivities. The king was a figure of awe, tall, strong, and shrouded in mystery. Karaba, determined to catch his eye, worked tirelessly for weeks to prepare her performance in the village's traditional dances. When the day came, she was radiant, her movements weaving a story of both sorrow and strength. It was at that moment that she captured not just the king's attention, but his curiosity. Invited to the palace under the guise of rewarding her talent, Karaba entered a world she had only imagined. But life in the royal court was a maze of whispered alliances and veiled threats. While other women sought to ingratiate themselves through beauty or submission, Karaba positioned herself as the king's confidant, offering insights and solutions that won his trust. Her meteoric rise was unprecedented, and within months, she became his most trusted advisor. But whispers began to circulate about Karaba's methods. Some claimed she was a sorceress who could manipulate even the most steadfast minds. Others argued that her ambition was nothing short of dangerous. However, no one dared challenge her directly, not when the king seemed blind to her faults. What none of them knew was that Karaba's ascent came at a greater cost than they could fathom. One night, as the moon cast an eerie glow over the palace, Karaba ventured into the forbidden groves of Nyoka, a sacred forest said to be inhabited by vengeful spirits. Desperate for power, she had heard tales of a spirit that could grant immense influence for a price. The spirit of Njoka appeared to her as a serpent with golden scales, promising her everything she desired. In exchange, she had to agree to an unspecified sacrifice, one that would be demanded in the future. Blinded by her hunger for power, Karaba accepted. Her newfound abilities were subtle yet undeniable. She could sway opinions with ease and foresee threats before they materialized. But as her power grew, so did her arrogance. She became known as the Serpent Queen, a title spoken with equal parts reverence and fear. What Karaba didn't realize was that a pact with the spirit was not just a transaction, it was a course waiting to unfold. As Karaba's influence over Zuberi's royal court deepened, so did her hunger for control, a craving that was insatiable, like the serpent she had once encountered in the forbidden groves of Njoka. She had convinced herself that she was untouchable. What she didn't realize was that her fall had already begun, creeping upon her like shadows at dusk. Among the palace's bustling workers was Juma, the royal blacksmith. A man of modest origins, Juma's craft was unrivaled. His hands shaped shields that gleamed like polished suns and swords that danced with deadly grace. But it wasn't his skill that captured Karaba's attention. It was his quiet strength, his aura of defiance in a world dominated by the powerful. Juma was unlike anyone she had encountered, a man unburdened by ambition, grounded and fiercely loyal to his principles. Their connection began innocently enough, forged through fleeting conversations in the palace courtyard. Juma's humor disarmed Karaba, his insights made her think differently, and his gentleness drew out a humanity she had long buried beneath her ambitions. The two soon found themselves entangled in secret rendezvous, meeting under the cover of moonlight by the palace gardens. Though forbidden by both tradition and law, their affair ignited a passion that Karaba had never experienced before. The affair, however, was a precarious gamble. Zuberi's laws decreed that royal figures must remain virtuous, their reputations untarnished by scandal. Karaba knew the risk, yet she couldn't help herself. A growing obsession with Juma caused her to neglect her duties, her schemes losing their precision and focus. It wasn't long before whispers began to circulate through the palace. Servants noticed Karaba's frequent trips to the gardens. Courtiers saw Juma leaving the royal chambers at odd hours. Unbeknownst to Karaba, a rival, Princess Amara, had taken note of these discrepancies. Amara was the estranged daughter of King Jelani, born to his first wife, who had passed away under mysterious circumstances. Though Amara had spent much of her life away from the palace, she returned with a fiery determination to uncover the truth. Suspicious of Karaba's rise to power, Amara began observing her closely, documenting every unusual behavior. Amara's investigation uncovered damning evidence. She found correspondence between Juma and Karaba, notes hidden in hollowed-out books. She noticed how Karaba's influence over the king seemed to wane, how her decisions began to unravel the stability of Zuberi's governance. But the most shocking discovery came when Amara followed Karaba into the groves of Njoka one fateful night. Karaba, desperate to maintain her hold on power, had returned to the spirit of Njoka, seeking more strength, but the spirit had grown weary of her requests. "You are reckless," it hissed, coiling its golden body around her. "The sacrifice I demanded has grown within you. Your unborn child shall be the price for your greed." Karaba froze. The words felt like daggers plunging into her chest. She realized then that her passion for Juma, her decisions, her pact, all of it was a tangled web of consequences she could no longer escape. The forbidden spirit had cursed her child even before she knew she carried it. And now, as Amara listened in secret from the shadows, the princess pieced together the final truth. Armed with her knowledge, Amara confronted Karaba in the palace. The confrontation was fiery and public, drawing the attention of King Jelani and his court. Amara revealed Karaba's treachery, the affair, the pact with the spirit, and the impending curse. The king, devastated by the betrayal, ordered Karaba's imprisonment. But Karaba was not one to succumb easily. As she was dragged away to the dungeons, Karaba vowed revenge. "You think you have won?" she spat at Amara. "You have no idea what I am capable of." Little did anyone know, Karaba's story was far from over. Her alliance with the forbidden spirit meant that her grip on power was stronger than chains, stronger than her deepest fears. But it also meant the reckoning she would face would be unlike anything Zuberi had ever known. The aftermath of Karaba's imprisonment sent shockwaves through the kingdom of Zuberi, the once celebrated Serpent Queen, who had mesmerized the court and ruled through cunning, had fallen from grace. But the power Karaba wielded wasn't easily extinguished. Deep within the dungeons, she plotted a revenge, determined to reclaim the throne she believed was her destiny. Her loyal followers, a secret network of spies and sorcerers she had cultivated over the years, wasted no time springing into action. Through cryptic messages carved into stone walls and covert deliveries of enchanted relics, they planned our escape. Karaba's cunning ensured every move was executed flawlessly. Within weeks, she emerged from captivity, a resolve unshaken, a thirst for power now fueled by vengeance. Meanwhile, Princess Amara worked tirelessly to repair the kingdom's trust. Her revelations about Karaba's betrayal had exposed the deep fractures within Zuberi's governance, fractures that needed healing. Her speeches in the village squares were impassioned, her promises sincere. Amara's efforts earned her the loyalty of the people, but she knew that Karaba was still a threat. The princess rallied the king's army, preparing them for the inevitable confrontation. Karaba did not disappoint. With the forbidden spirit's aid, she summoned forces unlike anything Zuberi had seen, storms that ripped through farmlands, serpents that slithered from the depths of the Njoka groves, and illusions that confused even the most seasoned warriors. The kingdom was plunged into chaos. Villages burned, alliances fractured, and fear took hold. But Amara, determined and strategic, refused to yield. She uncovered an ancient prophecy hidden in the royal archives, a prophecy that foretold the downfall of one who made a pact with the spirit of Njoka. According to the prophecy, the cursed one could only be defeated through an act of redemption, a willingness to undo the pact by making the ultimate sacrifice. Amara decided to use this knowledge to confront Karaba directly. In a climactic battle on the palace grounds, the princess and the Serpent Queen stood face to face, surrounded by the remnants of Zuberi's forces and Karaba's followers. The air crackled with energy as Amara pleaded with Karaba. "This kingdom is not your enemy," she said. "Undo the curse. Save the child. There's still time to reclaim your humanity." Karaba's response was cold and defiant. "Humanity is a weakness, princess, and I will not be undone by your naive optimism." But even as she spoke, doubts crept into Karaba's mind. The price she had paid, the loss of her unborn child, the love she once shared with Juma, the alienation from the people of Zubri, was far greater than she had anticipated. Her pact with the forbidden spirit had left her isolated, feared, and hated. Was power truly worth this cost? The forbidden spirit, sensing Karaba's hesitation, materialized. Its golden form twisted and writhed as it spoke. "You owe me a life, Serpent Queen. Your child was merely a promise of what is to come. If you falter now, you will lose everything." In that moment, Karaba faced a choice. She could continue her path of destruction, fully committing to the spirit's demands, or she could surrender, undo the pact, and accept the consequences of her actions. The realization struck her like lightning. True strength lay not in power, but in redemption. With trembling hands, Karaba cast aside her enchanted relics and fell to her knees. "I renounce you," she said to the spirit. "I will make amends." The spirit, enraged, unleashed a final surge of energy, consuming Karaba and dissolving her connection to the forces she once wielded. The storm ceased, the serpents vanished, and the illusions faded. The battle was over. Karaba, weakened but alive, turned to Amara. "Protect this kingdom," she whispered before collapsing. Her followers scattered, their loyalty broken by her act of surrender. Years passed after the events that led to Karaba's downfall. The kingdom of Zuberi, once fractured and chaotic, began to heal under the wise and compassionate reign of Queen Amara. Her leadership brought stability, prosperity, and justice to the people, restoring the integrity that had been lost during Karaba's tumultuous rule. Amara ensured that Karaba's story was not forgotten. She believed that the tale of the Serpent Queen held valuable lessons for the generations to come. Lessons about ambition, integrity, and the delicate balance of power. With the help of court historians, Amara commissioned the creation of an elaborate mural in the Great Hall, depicting the rise, betrayal, and redemption of Karaba. The mural showed three pivotal scenes: Karaba accepting the Serpent's pact, a confrontation with Amara, and her ultimate surrender, symbolized by her casting away the relics of her dark magic. The people of Zuberi would gather in the Great Hall during festivals and solemn ceremonies to reflect on the story. Elders told the tale to children, cautioning them against the lure of greed and the dangers of unchecked ambition. The Serpent Queen became a symbol, not of fear, but of redemption, a reminder that even the most broken souls could find the strength to turn away from darkness. Karaba herself was never seen in Zuberi again. After her surrender, she vanished from the kingdom, retreating into the wilderness to live in solitude. Some claimed she had returned to the groves of Joka to make peace with the spirit, while others believed she wandered the lands seeking redemption through acts of kindness. Regardless of her fate, her legacy remained, a testament to the profound impact one individual could have on the lives of others. Under Queen Amara's reign, Zuberi thrived. The queen established schools and libraries, giving the people access to knowledge and education. She championed laws that protected the vulnerable, ensuring no one would be subjected to the injustices Karaba had once exploited. Amara's rule marked the beginning of a golden age for the kingdom, one built on principles of fairness and unity. The tale of the Serpent Queen, though rooted in Zuberi's history, carried a timeless message that resonated far beyond its borders. It served as a warning to leaders across the world. Power gained through deceit and manipulation is fleeting. True leadership is earned through integrity, compassion, and accountability. Today, Karaba's story feels more relevant than ever. In a world where ambition often overshadows morality, her rise and fall remind us of the importance of staying grounded in our values. Her redemption teaches us that it's never too late to make amends, to correct our course, and to strive for a better future.